Hey everybody. Sorry for the delay. I know it's kind of a running joke around here that I'm always late. There's sadly a good, well, not good, but there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for it tonight. Not long before the live stream was set to kick off, I got a bit of bad news, and that is that my good friend Adam, triggered Limey, sadly is in a coma. Um, I found this out. A few people actually messaged me on Discord, and I hadn't seen it. And it just so happened that I checked my Discord and found out. Yeah, like myself and Adam go way back. We go back a few years now, back to the days of flat Earth stuff and all of that kind of thing. And I was talking to him quite a bit the other night, and I know he wouldn't mind me saying, and I know that he has said it to a lot of you guys in the past few weeks. He's been going through a bit of a hard time for numerous reasons, and yeah, sadly, as I say, it turns out he is in a coma. I've been in contact with his mother. She messaged me there a couple hours ago, and she's been kind of keeping me up to date on what's going on, and some other members of the family. His mother knows that myself and him talk quite a bit and would be quite close buddies and have been for quite a while. You guys might remember back to when I was in a similar, not quite the same, but similar situation where I was made homeless, essentially. I mean, not on the street homeless, but like where I literally didn't have a home for a little while. Thankfully, for a very short while until I got this cottage. But I took a pretty bad mocking from another YouTuber, and Limey jumped in there. Still to this day, one of my favorite videos of all time, one of the funniest videos. And he had my back, and he tore that fucker to shreds. So yeah, I won't go into huge detail about it all. Obviously a lot of it's quite private and personal to him and to the family. His mom was in touch and kind of gave me a rundown of roughly what's going on. At the moment, the prognosis, it's not good. Obviously, we all hold out hope, and we all, we'll keep our fingers and toes crossed, pray to whoever you pray to, and all that stuff for him. And we'll keep our best foot forward at this moment in time. Sorry, it's just a weird scenario. It's kind of surreal, to be honest. Like, I mean, it's like that stereotypical thing that you always hear people say, "Oh, I was just talking to him yesterday." Fact of the matter was, just before it happened, like literally a couple of hours before he ended up in a coma, I was actually talking to him right before then, and I was trying to help him out with a few things, and a few other friends were trying to help him out with a few things. And yeah, he has been going through a rough time, and it's important to support people. Like, I know he's been having issues with other creators and stuff over the past couple of months, and that's not nice. That's a fucking travesty that kind of shit goes on. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, we all have our fights, we all have our arguments, and the thought of there being enemies in this kind of, it's not that I hate to use the word community, but a lot of times, like, it does kind of smack you in the face and kind of say this isn't a community sometimes. But then I remember the support that this community has shown me and my friends and people that I don't necessarily like either. And that's the beauty of it. I am getting a lot of like conflicting stories and conflicting, I hate to even say this, but essentially conflicting ideologies, because it seems that already ideology is coming into this. And I won't get into the specifics of that, because at the end of the day, it's not important, frankly. people's issues with each other, people's issues with him, his issues with others, my issues with people. Doesn't matter. It does not fucking matter. We lost Archangel during the week, right? Somebody that a lot of you would have become very good friends with, somebody who was here in this side chat countless times, and probably in some of yours too, some of the creators out there. Our individual beefs don't matter. It puts moments like this, put it into perspective. Like, thankfully, he's still with us, right? And I know for him going forward, and I will just say, like, I've already gotten a couple of messages from people saying this isn't your story to tell. I've been asked to directly by his mother to come on here and talk to you guys, because I'm not going to obviously read her message because it's private to her, to me, to Adam. But I will say a bit of it. So for the one or two people out there who have issues with me coming on here saying this, bite me, frankly. Because that's my friend, that's my buddy, that's somebody who's had my back. I've had his back. We're buddies, like, you know. A couple of things really, really, really quickly, right? I don't know how to change this. But I would just ask very, very, very quickly before anybody thinks of doing it, please don't send any super chats today. I ask you kindly not to, or any PayPals to me. What I would ask is, if you can, I'm going to put his mom's PayPal in the side chat here. Now, I've asked her if this is okay and everything. You know, his family are all around him at the moment. I asked, you know, was there anything that I could do? Do they need me to come over there? Not that I know if that would even help or not. It's just one of those things where you're like, okay, you know, what can we do? What can we do? At the moment, all we can do is be there for his family, and show them the respect and the kindness that they deserve. Like, you know, I'm sure there's not a single one among you watching right now that hasn't lost somebody in the past few years, or hasn't had somebody close to you, you know, being in a state of serious difficulty. And I'm sure you would all want people to put aside their differences for that. And as I say, like, he's still here with us. He's still fighting. And I, for one, know that he'll fight like a motherfucker. I know he will, because he always has. Like, I know a lot of you probably don't know the ins and outs of some of the things that he's been through in his life. It makes my life look like a cakewalk, frankly. You know? And so yeah, he's a fighter. Like, I've no doubt he'll come through this, and he'll be on a live stream in a couple of weeks laughing and having a good time. So don't anybody lose whatever bit of faith that you have. So anyway, I've just posted a link to his mom's PayPal in the side chat. Just, you know, times like this, people, you know, having all the family around him, there's small things that we can do together to kind of try to reach out and help. And money doesn't fix something like this, obviously, but it can help to not ease pain or anything like that, but it can help to make it a little bit more comfortable for the people who are around him, supporting him at the moment. Yeah, so I have shared that in the side chat. I get paid in a few days, so I'll make sure and drop a big tip in there. Um, and like with anything, if it's something that you can and you're comfortable doing, by all means. But even just being here talking, whatever, that's a very positive thing as well. So she says, tell people how you feel about them while they're here. You don't know when they'll be gone. Stay smart and be good. Amen to that. It does put a lot of things into perspective, I'm sure, for a lot of you guys as well. So yeah, as I said, I get paid in a few days. I haven't got a fucking bob at the moment, frankly, and I've got no problem admitting that. Yeah, it's kind of hard to even know what to say. But I did promise that I would come on and have a conversation, let you guys know how he's doing and everything. As soon as he's well enough to see my big fat head again, I'll be on the first flight out there anyway. That's for damn sure, because it's not very far for me. It's cheaper for me to fly over there and back than it is to get a train to Dublin from Cork. So that'll just kind of put that into perspective. So, yeah. So anyway, I'll just kind of give you guys a brief idea of the situation. I don't know. Just let me just send a quick message. And I know this is obviously not riveting viewing or anything. It's kind of everything's a bit up in the air at the moment. But thank you so much, Evelyn. What date is today? Today is the 16th. So I get paid in like 4 or 5 days. So as soon as I get paid, I'll be dropping a good bit in there. Sorry, let me just okay. So basically, she just said that she had been talking to him in the past. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing, and that he's talked about me to her in the past. So obviously, she was comfortable explaining to me what was going on. She said he's critically ill. Oh, Lindy Lou, absolutely. Thank you so much. So essentially, he had an incident. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. He had an incident. He was found unresponsive in the early hours of Sunday morning and taken to accident and emergency, which is like the emergency room, basically. And he had to be resuscitated. I won't get into the specifics, but essentially, at the moment, he's on a ventilator. The next couple of days, oh, it's okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so look, I am allowed to tell you guys what happened essentially. So he had an overdose, and it's very important to clarify that it doesn't seem to be a case of self harm. Just for anybody who would be thinking that that is the case. Not that it matters. Our body's lying in a hospital bed on a ventilator, so that's what really is important. So they gave him some medications and stuff like that, and eventually he ended up in a coma on a ventilator and had to get scans and things like that. He was put on dialysis, and basically his organs are really struggling. The next couple of days there'll be a few very important tests for him that will be critical. So if he comes through those okay, then then there's hope from there. He'll recover somewhat. It's unlikely that he would ever be able to kind of make a full recovery, I suppose. But yeah, at least it wouldn't be the worst. Okay, sorry, no, guys, I'm just kind of scanning to see what's important. The other thing is, most of his belongings seem to have been stolen or taken, or well, at the very least, they weren't with him, including his wallet and stuff like that. So, that was just kind of a side note. She said, I know he's asleep, but we're talking to him. So I let him know that you messaged and he always spoke highly of you. Please keep him in your prayers. Absolutely. She just said that they're taking every day as it comes, and she'll give him a squeeze from me to tell him, wake the fuck up. So yeah, he's in ICU at the moment. And the doctors have kind of explained to them that, the worst could happen, but that they're doing everything that they can. It's also his niece's birthday today. It was probably the shittiest birthday of all time. Yeah, I just don't really know at this point what to do or say. Charlie says being a friend of his for years. Yeah. Same here. Sure. I've known him since I started YouTube, and we started around the same time. Myself, him, JL, Johnny, a few other people as well. So just a reminder to anybody who's here, please don't send any super chats. I don't know how to switch it off. When I set up the live stream, I obviously hadn't known about it at that point. So if there was a way that I can turn it off here while I'm live, I will, just in case. But if anybody does send one in, I'll pass that on. Soon as, obviously, I'm not going to wait till that pay period, but when I get paid in a few days, I'll pass that on if need be. But please don't, if you can avoid it, I'd appreciate that. I think I would have thought there was a way to turn it off, but it doesn't really matter. Like, at the end of the day, we'll pass on anything. So yeah, we're just kind of reading the side chat as best we can. Chloe's mom's here. Good to see you. Let me see here now. Super Ghost UK says Limey was the one that introduced me to Irish Demon. That's awesome. Yeah, as I say, we go back a long time, and we've been friends for a long time, and we would constantly bounce ideas off each other, and just shoot the shit. Like, we were just buddies at the end of the day. So yeah, it fucking sucks. It was a shock. Like, I gotta be honest, like, it's rare enough that I check Discord, because it's just, I don't know, I'm just not really into Discord, truth be told. And sorry, Dan, I'm just gonna make my screen a little bit bigger. Cheers, Coxnad. Appreciate it, bud. You're always welcome, though, buddy. I know you have your moments, but you're always welcome. So yeah, a few people that I know, creators in the UK and stuff. That's why it took so long for me to get on air. We had been talking about what we can do to help, basically. I don't know that there's a whole lot we can do at this present moment, other than just hope for the best. But as I say, he's a fighter. Like, I mean, he's always been his whole life. You all know, anybody who's been a fan of his for a while, will know that he has been through the ringer in his life. He has not had an easy life. You know, he talks about the loss of his wife there. It's about a decade ago now. You know, a very young man losing a wife like that, like rough. And then his struggles with pain and everything else. It's not been easy for him. We've had days where, you know, I've had bad days, and we would just chat on the phone for ages, and yeah, it's just a waiting game. Like, I'm probably going to book a flight because, as I say, it's really, really, really cheap to fly from here to there. So I'm probably going to book a flight anyway, just in case. If I don't get on it, it's no big deal. Just in case there's anything that I can do. I don't even know if that's necessary or something that if it's something that I can do. Like, I just don't know. You kind of feel a little bit helpless, like there's not much you can do, but just kind of keeping an eye on things and see how it goes. Give me 2 seconds there. I just got to go off screen for a sec. I just got to grab my coffee. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, Daryl, I was thinking the same thing. Like, as soon as I saw that, I messaged him. I was like, what's going down? You just need some time away, or what's the story? Um, and then we spoke about other stuff for a little bit and didn't really get back onto that topic. Um, yeah, that's not the hardest part. It is hard to just sit here and be like, you know, you want to be able to run out and physically help somebody. It's like an inherent trait, I think, for humanity, is to just be like, you know, the physical, wanting to actually grab somebody and protect them or save them from something. But when you physically can't, like when there's nothing you can physically do, um, it's yeah, it's just fucking I don't know. It's a, it's a tough feeling, like, and I'm sure I'm one of hundreds now at the moment that are feeling the same way. Shisha87 said, Limey's my friend of several years. My heart is breaking. Don't leave it break just yet, though. Don't you worry. He's a fucking fighter. He really is. Um, like, I'll never forget that video he made when Dr. Dave came at me hard that time. I know, like, times passed, myself and Dr. Dave kissed and made up or whatever, and it's all good now. I haven't spoken to the guy in probably a year now, maybe more. Oh, but Limey was in there like a fucking shot. Among other people, don't get me wrong, but by God, did he come at him hard. Like, his whole attitude was like, you fuck with him, you fuck with me. Um, God, some of the things he said in that video is just the funniest shit I've ever seen. It's still one of the funniest videos ever. Like, um, um, and I'm going to be straight with you guys here. I have to kind of no, I'll just be straight with you. Myself and him had a conversation the other day about some shit that he'd been going through with some people, and I'm not going to name any names or cause any drama because it's not relevant. But I think it's an important point to note that these things have effects on people in real life. Like, really. Like, we all have our crosses to bear. We all fucking say and do things that we regret. Sometimes we don't regret them. Sometimes we fucking wholeheartedly mean them, but we realize that, okay, that really affected that person. I'm sure I've been super mean. Like straight up, like when myself and Gia had a bit of a falling out recently. I fucking love Gia. I've known Gia for like Limey. I've known Gia for years. Broke my fucking heart. And we fixed it because we're grown-ups. That's what we do, and but a lot of the things that went down with Limey over the past couple of weeks, man, it's not going to rest. Tell you that much. It's not fucking on. And we leave it at that. People need to start taking more accountability for their words and their actions. Me too. Like, I go off of people all the time. I've made videos in the past where I thought it was funny, or in the moment I was like, oh, this is great. People will find this very funny. Somebody going through a hard time in court or whatever. And I'll sit back and I'll watch it back and I'll go, no. Like, if that was my brother or my sister going through, especially the ones where it's people who are completely, like, where they've completely lost their mind, I won't post those anymore because I'm like, no, that person, because I see them come back to court like 6 months later and they're like a new person. And I learned a lot of lessons from that. But I think as well, the way things have been going, I saw the same bullshit with the flat earth world. As soon as people ran out of, a bad guy to go after, Nathan Thompson and others, as soon as they disappeared, people started to turn on each other. There's no need for that shit. That's why I stopped covering flat earth. That's why I moved on. It was getting boring anyway, but it's a huge part of why I moved on, and other creators, because it was just like, okay, everybody's turning on each other now. We saw it cause so much fucking harm to so many people. I said, God damn. Like, I know I'm not saying for 1 minute that this is a result Limey situation. It's just, it brings it into perspective is all I mean. It's like, you know, words of consequences sometimes. Not all the time. For some of us, it can roll off our backs. Am I super thick skinned? No. All you have to do is look at some of my responses to comments. I get really petty and shitty with people sometimes, especially when it's about my work. And I know I shouldn't, but I can't help it sometimes. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I love what I do. And you might have noticed in this past week or so, I've reignited my love for what I do. In no small part, to you guys watching, 100%. To old buddies that I've had on here for a long, long time, and my good friend Stephen helping me out with some stuff and teaching me new things. The education I've received over this past couple of days, over these past couple of weeks, with new software, like I've switched completely, I'm happy to say, from Apple computers anyway to Windows. And that's not been an easy transition, but with the right support, you can do it. It's not easy for me to kind of relearn things sometimes because I'm a bit lazy when it comes to learning. But I'm not going to give up my iPhone. I love my iPhones. I can't help it. Um, Sorry, I'm just responding to somebody here. Um, so yeah, so basically he had a bit of an incident. He had an overdose. Again, just to clarify, from the information I'm receiving, it wasn't intentional or anything. It was accidental. Um, and as a result of that, he's now in a coma. Um, and he's not doing too great, guys. To be honest, like he's not like there's no other way of putting it. He's in a bad way. He can come through this. He can fight it. As I say, I've known the guy now a few years, and we've been buddies for a long time, and I've seen him fight some shit already. If there's anybody that can get through it, he can, frankly. And I just, yeah, just hope he does. Like I'll do whatever I can. Frank, don't know what that is, but it's funny. Like I got the message, and then I was in contact with his mom, and I got the message explaining everything. I was like, God Almighty, how quickly things can change. Like it's terrifying. Like it really, really is. You know, um, like this time last year, I lost a buddy of mine in a motorcycle crash, and I think it was like 2 or 3 nights before. No, it wasn't. It was a couple of weeks before. Um, I'd made him a belt. You know, you guys know I make belts for his little boy, and like every time I see his little boy now, he's still wearing that belt. Um, because his dad gave it to him. It was a gift. Um, and it just puts it into perspective. Like it hits so fucking hard. I suppose for me, from and I don't, you guys know I don't mind being personal and telling you about myself. I guess I've been very lucky for the most part in my life that I haven't had a great amount of loss. Um, I've had loss, like we've all had loss. You know, just thinking back this past year, you know, my aunt's partner, Colin, absolute legend, somebody who made me laugh more times than I could count, and just instantly, just like that, taken away. You know, biggest loss in my life, I would say, is probably my grandmother. I adored my grandmother. She was a legend. And, you know, when somebody's old, like not old, old, mind you, I know there's some of you watching right now that wouldn't be a million miles away, but, you know, when somebody's elderly and unwell, you know, you kind of expect it to come, and it comes, and it's still horrible and sad and whatever, but it's not as bad. But when like a young life is taken, like my buddy last year, it's boom, like that, just fucking gone. And you kind of you realize like I'm not an older man, I'm not a young man either. I'm not quite middle aged yet though. Like I'm 32, 32, 33, 30, 30. I'm 30-ish. Between 31 and 34. I'm in there somewhere. I'm really bad with dates and numbers. I'm terrible, always have been. Um, but like I even think about like from my own age group, people that I knew growing up, and like a few of them are gone, and you kind of think like, God damn, like it can happen at any moment. So you have to just enjoy what you can. You have to leave go of the shit things in life, you know. And I know that like Trust me, I know. Life isn't easy. Like you guys know, I went through a really bad patch there just before Christmas, like really bad patch. One of the worst in a while. And I had my family and my friends around me, and it makes all the difference. And some people don't have that. Some people don't have the support that most of us are very lucky to have, or well, maybe not most, but lots of us are very lucky to have. Um, yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that. But anyway, it puts it all in perspective. We have to learn. If there's anything to take away from this, just think, all of you who are watching right now, think about any little beefs you got. Sorry, my dog's going crazy. Just give me a sec. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. Oh, sorry, guys. Mr. 42, good to see you. Long time no see. But anyway, yeah. So, like, the point being that, like, look at all the little beefs that you might have, right, with your next door neighbor arguing over a fence. Like, you know what? I'm just thinking about this video that I was going to cover tonight, right? Karen and her smug husband arguing with her fucking neighbor over a driveway. The two ruining their own lives, ruining their lives. Just constant stress, arguing, fighting. What's the fucking point? There is none. Yes, there will be people in your life that you just won't get on with. God knows there's some for me. And that's life, that's fine. But it's being able to leave that, go and move on with your life. Enjoy what you have, man. Like, just, like, I haven't got everything I was born with. I'm missing a few fucking body parts since I was born. I'm carrying a few injuries, some that I'll have for the rest of my lives. I used to get so depressed over my eye. Like, you guys might not remember, like, my left eye, I've only got 20% vision in that eye. And I used to get so depressed over it, being 20, what was I at the time? 26, maybe 27, and blind in one eye, essentially, having to get surgeries and all this shit, being told by a doctor that, it would never recover and that it would continue to get worse until I went completely blind in that eye. And then it would probably affect the other one as well later in life. I'm happy to report that this eye has actually gotten better, strangely. I remember one morning I woke up, just instantly overnight. I woke up and the color vision had come back. There was always like a faint hint of color vision, but it wasn't the same. It was like a sepia almost, or sepia, or whatever that's called. And one morning I woke up and I opened my eyes. I was like, what the fuck? I can see colors. Now it went away again for a little while and came back again, but now it's back. I remember every morning I would wake up, my left eye would be completely blurry. Like, I wouldn't be able to see out of it for a few hours. But now, I wake up every morning, I can see relatively well. I can't see anything. Like, I can't see my own hand right now. I know it's there, but I can't see it. And I can't see down here at all. But I can see, like, all out this direction. And now I can see it in color. And strangely enough, I remember going for an eye test a couple of years ago, just before I left Australia, I think it was. And it was 2020 central vision I had. And I was like, what? And I'll never forget the doctor, Aussie doctor. He was really funny. He was like, yeah, mate, kicking the fucking balls, isn't it? I was like, what? And he's like, it's a bit of a kick in the balls, isn't it? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, 2020 vision, but you can't fucking use it. I was like, thanks for that, doc. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's getting better. But that's just the way life is. You have to leave it go sometimes. Because what's the fucking what's the benefit long term? You just wind yourself up and you just fall into misery. Like, I've done it myself so many fucking times. And it fucking blows. Like it really does. Like, I mean, how the fuck do I turn off notifications? Oh yeah, there we go. Um, trust trust an Aussie to bring up the negatives and the positives. Yeah. But see, that's the thing. Aussies are masters of that, right? They'll bring up a negative, but as a positive. You know what I mean? It's like, at least it's not fucking chlamydia. Like, you know what I mean? Aussies are great at that kind of stuff. Oh, your legs hanging off. At least it's not fucking chlamydia, mate. Do you know what I mean? I love that about Aussies, though. Actually, I found out one of my favorite comedy groups from Australia, a group called Sushi Mango. They're going to be playing in London the week I'm there. I have to go there twice, but they're going to be there the second time that I go, basically. So I'm gonna go try see them if I can. That'd be fantastic. Um, yeah, at least you have another leg. Fucking Aussies, man. I love you, Aussies. Actually, do I have? Where's my? Damn it! I thought I had my Yakuba here. It's actually out in the other room. Oh, sushi mango are amazing. You touching my hammer? Oh, fuck your hammer. Amazing. I love sushi mango. Your wine is the sheet. If you haven't seen Sushi Mango, it's amazing. So we all know about Italian Americans, right? Italian Australians is also a thing. They went out there kind of in the 50s and 60s, and they're fucking amazing. You want to come and piss on my lemon tree? Look at how big is my tomatoes. They're fucking amazing. They do great skits. Like, I love the one where he has the fruit and vegetable shop. He's like, "Excuse me, mate. These I don't know what it was, bananas or whatever." He's like, "These bananas smell a bit funny." And then he's like, "Yeah, and they think you smell like shit, but you don't hear them say fucking anything. You just put your Cooper on." Cheers, bud. I fucking, you know what I miss? Bundy. I gotta get some Bundy. There's one shop about 20 minutes from here. I've got to go there tomorrow anyway. Well, to that town, I don't actually have to go to the shop, and they sell Bundy, so I'm gonna go get myself a Bundaberg tomorrow. What's the other stuff now that I liked in Australia? Chicken salt. I've got a friend actually who's visiting Australia at the moment. She's going to be back in a couple of weeks. She's going to bring me some as well. God, I miss chicken salt. Chico rolls. Aussies. You know what I'm talking about. Chico rolls. They were fucking terrible, but they were so bad that they were kind of good. Like, you'd actually kind of want them. What else? What else do I miss? Do you know what I really miss? I miss Coles. Coles was a great store. Coles is like your supermarket that's in every town. And you walk in the front door, and the best part was that little pick and mix section of all the crispy stuff. Oh, it was lovely. What else now? Now, one thing that I would love to get from Australia that I can't get is Killer Coffee Cold Coffee is one of them. The other one is You Have a Coffee Works. Oh, wonderful, man. What else do I miss about Australia? I miss some of the lingo, to be honest. It's so laid back. Like, there's no hello, how are you? It's just, hey, yeah, mate. Hey, yeah, mate. And it doesn't matter where you're in Australia, you get the same thing. I was always a fan of an old goon bag, I gotta say. I did like a good goon bag. A white goon bag in the back of the fridge, come home from work out in the balcony, in the jacuzzi, drinking my fucking bag of goon. Oh, yeah, baby. Lovely. What else? Come on, Aussies, throw it at me. What else do I miss? I miss, Spud Shed, Western Aussies. Ah, the bloody Aussie Sheilas. Oh, yeah. They had me flat out like a lizard drinking. Speaking of which, I think I'll have a wee dram. Sláinte what? And sláinte de my good buddy. What's goon? Goon is cheap wine in a bag, but it's actually better than most wine you get in other countries. Tim Tams, I was never a fan of. I gotta be honest. Aussie chocolate is fucking awful. I am sorry, Australians. It's terrible. Even Margaret River. I used to make like homemade chocolates, that kind of thing. And yeah, Aussie chocolate's fucking atrocious. Tim Tams shapes. Oh, shapes. Those little kind of cracker things, they were fucking lovely. Vegemite, no thank you. No bloody thank you. How long was I in Australia? I was there 5 or 6 years. I'm not a citizen, but I'm a permanent resident. I have to disagree. American chocolate, I'm sorry, Americans watching, not great. Too sweet. But Aussie chocolate is fundamentally terrible. It's got an added chemical that stops it from melting. I get it. It's super fucking hot. But yeah, it's just gross. It's fucking awful. You know what was really nice? Those little ice cream bars, the round ones, and they were like a cookie. Oh, fuck. They were amazing. Yeah. Yes. Candle waxy shite is the perfect descriptor for that. What else was there? Cooper's red beer. Cooper's was okay. I did like Cooper's. You had to drink it fast because it went flat fast. Aussies like flat beer, not flat beer, but they don't like a head on the beer. I love head, so like I like a beer with loads of head on it. I was more. I did like a bit of Bundy, ginger. The other one I liked was Bush Chuck, obviously, Western Australia. Like that's the drink of choice. Let me see here now. Anything else? Love our chocolate, Daryl. Nah, mate. Nah, mate. Well, at the moment, it's about fucking chocolate, right? It's about chocolate. So that's what it's about. Yeah, no, Aussie chocolate's fucking atrocious. I'm sorry. Like, you go to the Irish and English section that they have in every Coles because we infested the place. Actually, Woolies is better for it. And you get the proper Irish chocolate, like Cadbury's. Oh, fucking hell. Anyway, Sláinte. It's going to be a long night. Chocolate covered limes. That's a new one on me now. Do you remember when the Australian version of Lay's, which we would call Walkers here in Ireland, and they're Walkers in the UK as well. The Australian version of it is Smith's. It's the same. It's the exact same chips. They came out with a Lamington flavor one. Lamingtons are like an Aussie go-to. It's like chocolate covered sponge cake with, as I call it, desecrated coconut all over it. My mammy's in the house, Cadbury all the way. Myself and my auntie, my mom's sister, we have the same go-to chocolate bar, Cadbury's whole nut. And it has to be the one that's about 4.5 square feet of chocolate. Savage. Paul's been a member for 13 months. It says, oi, oi, is everyone doing? And plus sending much love and prayers to my fellow countryman. Thoughts are with him and his family. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, there's certain things that I do miss about Australia. A lot of things I fucking don't, though. Eshays being one of them. Eshay. I don't miss the chicken breasts about fucking that size. And then when you cook them, they come out about that size, like a fucking foreskin. Awful. Half my fucking town moved to Oz. Yeah, I know a load of people that moved out there. Tons of lads that I went to school with. Either there or Canada. We're slowly infesting and taking over the world. That's what we do. Just give me a sec here. I'm going to have a look and see if there's any updates. I don't see anything just yet. It's, it's just a waiting game, really, at this point. And we can only kind of have a laugh as we're doing it, really. Bloody Eshays, boy. They live in the train stations and hate going on public transport. Yeah. What's those shoes they wear? The TNs. Yeah, they certainly were. But as I said, it's been said to me multiple times now that it's not what a lot of people might have thought straight away. That this is genuinely an accident. Quality Street are wonderful. They really, really are. Darth Bane for $5 says, if you like seasonings, look up Special Shit. They're made from the US. They have different types of seasonings that will make you laugh. I will definitely check that out. Thank you very much indeed. That is one thing that I loved in the States. I think it was when I was in Cincinnati. It was when I was in Cincinnati. Anybody from Cincinnati watching will know where I'm talking about. You know the square with the clock tower. You go down past that. There was a big supermarket there with a food court upstairs. It had the most incredible collection of seasonings. And any Irish people watching, you'll know how it is. We don't. It's not because we're white people, arguably the whitest fucking people in Europe, that we don't have seasonings. It's just that there's very strict laws. So certain seasonings that you can get in the States would be essentially illegal here. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So if you go into the seasoning section in Ireland, you will find nothing with MSG in it for a start. I used to always MSG is not that bad, right? And I used to love it because I love cooking Asian food, right? So sometimes I do Korean barbecue, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I did a fucking lovely chicken satay today, just saying. But if I do say so myself, it was epic, basically. But I used to go into every town in Australia has those little Chinese shops. And I used to go into the Chinese shops and literally just be like, MSG, fucking big tub of the bastard. My mom loves fries cream and she loves Turkish Delight. Turkey D's, boy. Turkish Delight, as in Cadbury's Turkish Delight. It's so good. It's one of my favorites. Turkey D's with a bag of feckin' Walker's cheese and onion. You can't beat it. Teresa Brewer says lint for me. I remember in Perth, any Perth people watching, there's that there was a mall on the west side, in West Perth that had a lint shop in there. And I used to go in there all the fucking time. And I swear to God, I thought they were free samples, like loads of it. And it turns out they're not. I probably ate about 500 quid's worth of fucking lint. But I do like lint. Lint is lovely. You're from West Wicklow. Wow. That is a whole of a fucking place, my friend. Nah, it's not that bad. The Wicklow Mountains, all that place, beautiful. I kind of want chocolate. Do you know what I made today? I was saying I made this beautiful satay. I mean, it was fucking lush satay, chicken satay, stir fry. Oh, it was lovely. I'm trying to eat healthy because I've been porking on a little bit. I made a big decision about a month ago to come off my ADHD medication, and it does make you basically want to eat everything. So I've noticed that my clothes have been shrinking in the wash. But strangely enough, the blankets and other stuff that I've been washing haven't been shrinking. So I figured maybe it wasn't the clothes. And then when my mom was like, getting a bit fat there, aren't you? I'm like, fuck you. But she's right, I have been. So I've been actually really good lately. I'm like constantly hungry at the moment, which sucks balls. But Popeye's chicken. We don't have Popeye's chicken here in Ireland yet. I email them every hour on the hour to ask them to open a store here. I don't really, but I think I probably should. Be fantastic. I quit drinking for January and I can't stop eating. Yeah, I see. I'm the fella here now about to say this, sitting with a nearly empty bottle of whiskey that I only got at Christmas. I'm not a big drinker. Like I really am not. The only time I really, really, really drink is when I go out with my mates at the weekends, which maybe once a month. And I'll cut loose and I will drink a fair bit. And I could give up drink tomorrow and it wouldn't bother me. It's not like I could give it up anytime, bro. No, like genuinely, like if I didn't have a drink, I could go months without having a drink and it wouldn't bother me. Like it really wouldn't. I did give up the cigarettes, but I kind of went back on them. I gotta be honest. The rollies, back on the rollies a little bit, but I haven't been smoking a whole lot. I've cut down a lot. I'm back on the vape, but I know some people hate the vape, but it does help. Paul says, when are you coming to London? I've got 2 trips to London planned. So one of them is the first week of February for 4 days, I believe. I'll be doing a meet and greet one of the days. Not a fucking meet and greet. Like I'm not Taylor fucking Swift, but like just saying to people, hey, look, I'm going to be at this pub at this time Anybody want to come along, basically. Now, during the summer then as well, I'll be actually taking the car over because I want to drive down around Wales. I want to go to the Mac Loop. I want to drive up to Scotland and around the UK. So I'll be catching up with loads of people. Then then literally a month later, I'll be heading over to London. Oh, fuck, I can't remember the date. My mom might remember. It's the day after my dad's. They're doing like a ceremony for him for when he retires. So yeah, basically it's the day after that. So whatever day that is, my mom will know. So I'll be there for a few days as well. So hopefully be able to catch up with a lot of people. It'll be fantastic. Come to see the aunties in Scotland. We'll be raging. Oh, I can't wait to do a Scotland visit. That's coming up because they're cheap flights to Edinburgh at the moment. So like €18 each way. So like I was actually so tempted the other day. If my bank account would allow me to do it, I would have, but fucking Christmas was expensive this year. Not just presents and stuff like that, but like my car shit itself. The other car shit itself. The bike is now after shitting itself. I went out to start up the bike yesterday just because it's been really cold. So I just, fuck all. New battery, still fuck all. So I think I need to pull all the wiring out and start over again. Do you get hangovers after the binge? I don't actually binge. I just drink more than I usually would, right? So like, I suppose if I do a live stream, I might have a whiskey or 2 or 4, right? Not a whole lot. Might have a pint of Guinness. If I'm out in the city, like sometimes we'll go shopping, I'll be bored off my tits and I'll be like, fuck this, I'm going for a pint. Because it gets me through it, right? I'll be like, yeah, I'll go have a pint. I'll catch up with you. Yes, all those black t-shirts are the exact same color. Cheery bye, and I'll shoot across the road. There's lovely pubs in Cork City. Going to get a pint of Beamish, drink that, have a cigarette outside, drink my pint of Beamish, say hello to a few people, and then I will head back to the shopping and won't feel as bad. I don't drink beer at home, really. I rarely, very rarely have beer here. If one of the lads is coming over, I'll make sure and have a couple of beers there. If we're having a bit of food, we might have a couple of beers. But that's the extent of my drinking, really. I do fucking love hard seltzers. I see, that's the thing. That's why I don't buy them. I've never kind of had a mad draw to alcohol though. Like I'll drink it and I'll enjoy it, but I've never come home and been like, God, I just need a fucking beer. Never. And actually, when I was in Australia, I noticed everything was punctuated with a beer. I remember going buying parts for the Harleys and stuff like that. Oh, you want a fucking beer, mate? Old school, love it. I'm like, no, I'm too dehydrated. I can't. I mean, just water, please. Water would be great. You're Irish, you're just not used to that kind of heat. So yeah, or cans of what's the stuff they used to always have? Jack Daniels and cola, not Coke, cola, and it didn't taste like Coca-Cola either. But yeah, my max would be like 4 pints of Guinness, or 4 pints of Guinness, or I could do like 5 pints of beer, 6 pints of beer in a night, and maybe 3 or 4 whiskeys, and that's it. Like I can't do more. If I any more than that, I'll pass out. Like I'm a fucking lightweight with everything. Like even painkillers. Like I don't really do painkillers, but but yeah, anything like that, I'm a complete lightweight. I'm a cheap date. White Claw, that's the one. I had a bad experience with that in Cincinnati, though. It was really, really, really hot when I was in Cincinnati, and I didn't expect it. And yeah, drinking White Claws, not realizing they were alcoholic because I'd never seen them before. I've heard of them, but I didn't really put 2 and 2 together. I could have just read the fucking can, but I didn't, basically. They just looked promising. Because one of my favorite things to drink during the day is I like fizzy water, or like carbonated water, just lightly carbonated with very mild flavor in it. I love that. I absolutely love that. So yeah, basically I just drank way too much of it and was really, 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 really dehydrated. So I was slugging them back, and yeah, made a bit of a tit of myself, but it was fun. Something you can look back on and laugh. me see. Good to see you, Philip Heels. You might want to go back about 10 minutes. We were talking, reminiscing about Straya. Happy fucking days. But that being said, as much as I love Australia, I do. If the shit hit the fan, I'd be back there in an instant. Don't get me wrong. But there, it just goes back to there's no fucking place like home. There's no place like home. As much as I truly did love Australia, like I do love Australia. Opening my window in the morning and there's a castle there. You know, the green, the fresh, cold air, the sideways fucking rain every day. Oh yeah. I do miss riding my motorcycle over there. Except the traffic was fucking nuts there. Like Perth is great. There's no traffic in Perth. But it's just the drivers are awful. Really fucking awful. Let me see here now. Oh wait, no. Shit. Okay. I listen to the stream because it feels like Ireland again. Yeah. Australia is too far from Los Angeles. It's a bit of a spin, a bit of a swim. Depends on what way you go about it. Apparently, Perth isn't Australia. I've heard that. I have heard that. Let's see here now. From the northeast being like talking Surfers Paradise kind of area, or up further again. Did you know that Ireland is considered number 2 in the world for traffic? I am not surprised. I will not go into the city between kind of like 4 and 6 o'clock. Absolute madness. Yeah, no, it's fucking nuts. Well, no, Cork isn't technically Ireland. It's the People's Republic of Cork. If you look at the map of Ireland, it's Cork down in the bottom corner, and then not Cork. Oh, Northeast Victoria, lovely, beautiful part of the world. One of my favorite parts was up in the northwest, place called Exmouth. Not quite northwest, but like way north of Perth, like 12 hours drive north of Perth on the west. It's lovely. So anyway, guys, I'm not going to stay on for too much longer because it's getting a little bit late now. So as I say, look, it's just a waiting game now at the moment. As I said, there's a link there in the side chat for Adam's mom's PayPal. Just give him a little bit of a hand. It's going to be a tough road. Oh, thanks so much for that, Ron. I'd love that. I'd love to go to the Mojave Desert. That'd be really, really cool. But yeah, it's going to be a rough road for them. And, you know, I'm holding out every bit of hope that I can. And I'm sure, as I say, he's a fucking fighter. He always has been. And I'm sure he will be. But yeah, you know, we'll keep you updated. You know, as I said, I contact with his mom. His mom's kind of keep me up to date on what's going down. And as soon as I know what's happening, I'll let you guys know what's happening. Well, as best I can anyway. And yeah, I want to thank you so much, guys, for turning out. I know it wasn't the show that anybody was expecting, but I knew that nobody would have a problem. You know, I knew that everybody would get behind us all here and helping out a mate, basically. And I really do appreciate it. So with that, guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to try to get a bit of sleep, and I'll catch you all tomorrow or as soon as I can, basically. I'll let you guys know what's going on. So have a great night. Keep up the faith. Keep your good messages coming in, and take care of yourselves and each other. Have a good one. Sláinte.